China has always been a firm advocate, supporter, and practitioner of BRICS cooperation. We stand ready to work with all member states in a spirit of openness, inclusiveness, mutual respect, and mutual trust, and of exchange, mutual learning, and win-win cooperation to implement the important consensus achieved at this meeting, deepen practical education cooperation, and deliver more outcomes that benefit our peoples, and serve the future, making new contributions to global education development and the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Finally, on behalf of the Ministry of Education of China, I would like to express sincere thanks to the government and Ministry of the Education of India for their tremendous work in making this meeting a success. In 2027, China will host the BRICS Education Ministers meeting. We look forward to welcoming you all in China to discussing together the future development of education and advancing the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. We're looking forward to meeting you all again. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I call upon Masood Sham Baksh, His Excellency Professor Masood Sham Baksh, Acting Minister of Science, Research and Training from Islamic Republic of Iran.
Mr. Chairman, His Excellency, distinguished colleagues, the Islamic Republic of Iran reaffirmed in conclusion its full support for the mechanisms that give life to our cooperation. Foremost among them, the BRICS network universities and the BRICS cooperation, and for ensuring the effective, timely follow-up of the outcomes we agree up on here today. We retire our readiness to contribute the necessary support toward the coordinating mechanism of the BRICS network universities so that its work may proceed on a sustained and well-resourced base. I'm confident that by drawing fully upon the rich scientific, cultural, and human capacities of all our member states, and through the committed and diligent implementation of every pillar of this declaration, we can together shape a future built on innovation, scientific energy, and sustainable development, a future worthy of the generation who will inherit it. On behalf of the Islamic Republic of Iran, I extend once again our appreciation to the Republic of India for its leadership of the BRICS education track in 2026, and we look forward with anticipation to the Chinese chairmanship of the 14th BRICS Education Ministers meeting in 2027. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Excellency. Now may I call His Excellency Robert Fedorov, Acting Director, Department of International Cooperation, Ministry of Science and Higher Education of Russian Federation.
Dear Chair, distinguished colleagues, as we conclude the 13th BRICS ministerial meetings on education, I would like to thank all delegations for their commitment to our common work. Today we have adopted our ministerial declaration. It reflects our shared priorities and sets the direction for the next stage of our cooperation. That's why I want to remind you of a saying attributed to Lord Krishna: learn, understand, then act. This wisdom tells us that dialogue should always lead to practical results. I believe this is exactly what was guided BRICS education cooperation for more than 10 years. This spirit of acting together is embodied in the very country that has hosted us today. India is home of hundreds of languages and dialects. This remarkable diversity reminds us of BRICS itself. Also, our countries differ in many ways. We continue to speak the same language. It is the language of partnership and mutual respect. In closing, I would like to express my appreciation of His Excellency Minister Pralhad Joshi and the entire Indian team for their warm hospitality and the excellent organization of this meeting. In less than 2 weeks, the BRICS STI ministerial meeting will start its work in Chennai. My colleagues and I look forward to the opportunity to return to this fascinating country. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. Now, may I call Excellency Dr. Ahmad Sultan Al-Shuaibi, Under Secretary, the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research from the United Arab Emirates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this important meeting, I would like to express the United Arab Emirates' appreciation for the constructive discussions and valuable insights shared by all participating countries. The outcomes of our deliberations reflect our collective commitment to strengthening education as a driver of sustainable development, innovation, and inclusive growth. The cooperation among BRICS members demonstrates the importance of working together to address shared challenges and create new opportunities for our learners, institutions, and societies. The United Arab Emirates welcomes the declaration that will emerge from this meeting and views it as an important step towards translating our shared vision into practical action. We believe that the commitments reflected in the declaration will further enhance collaboration in areas of mutual priority, including skills development, innovation, research cooperation, academic mobility, and the responsible use of emerging technologies. The UAE remains committed to contributing actively to the BRICS education track, sharing our experience and strengthening partnerships that deliver meaningful impact. Together, we can build education systems that are more resilient, inclusive, and future-ready, ensuring that education continues to serve as a foundation for prosperity and sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Now I call upon Nebiyo Tedla, Excellency, Charge of D Affairs, Embassy of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. As we conclude this important meeting, on behalf of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, I extend my sincere appreciation to the Government of India for its excellent arrangement and warm hospitality. I also welcome and thank all Member States' delegations for their valuable contributions and steadfast commitment to strengthening BRICS education cooperation. Our deliberation have reaffirmed that education is one of the most important investments in our shared future, driving inclusive growth, innovation, sustainable development, and lasting peace. We also welcome the adopted declaration that puts our shared and collective future aspiration. Excellencies, Ethiopia reaffirms its unwavering commitment to our shared objectives and look forward to working closely with all BRICS members to translate our decisions into meaningful outcomes. Finally, I thank the BRICS presidency and all distinguished delegates whose dedication and constructive engagement made this meeting a success. I am confident that the partnership strengthened here will continue to advance education cooperation across all member countries. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Excellency. Finally, I call upon Excellency Miss Anna Paula D. Almedi Kobe, the Minister, Councillor, and the head of the delegation from Federative Republic of Brazil.
Honorable Ministers, distinguished colleagues, on behalf of Brazil, I would like to congratulate all ministers and representatives of BRICS countries on the adoption of the declaration. I also would like to thank Minister Pralhad Joshi and his team once again for bringing us together in beautiful Bhubaneswar around this shared commitment. One message, I believe, has emerged with clarity as our discussion comes to a close. We share the same conviction, that is, education is the foundation upon which inclusive development and innovation are built. Brazil believes that the greatest achievement today is not simply identifying common priorities, but reaffirming again and again our willingness to cooperate. BRICS has become a unique platform where countries with different experience can learn from one another, share successful public policies, and jointly develop solutions adapted to the realities of the global south. We are aware that the challenges before us are significant, but so are the opportunities. Brazil looks forward to continue this collective effort and thanks all delegation for the constructive spirit that has guided our discussions. We certainly leave Bhubaneswar with the conviction that just like the Amazon, whose countless tributaries unite to form one of the world's greatest rivers, our diverse perspective can come together to achieve far more than any of us could alone. Thank you.
Excellencies, fellow ministers of education, dear colleagues, as we come to the close of 13th BRICS Education Ministers meeting, I wish to thank every delegation for the goodwill and constructive spirit with which you have engaged throughout our discussions. I am also grateful for the valuable perspectives and the ideas you have brought to the table. Excellencies, at the beginning of our engagement, I spoke about India's approach of humanity first. Education is perhaps one of the most powerful expressions of this principle. Every investment we make in education is ultimately an investment in human being and in possibilities of next generation. And as the education ministers, we had the great privilege and an equally great responsibility of being entrusted with that investment. Today's discussions have once again shown that education is the foundation of resilient societies, inclusive growth, and shared responsibility. I am encouraged by the convergence of the views that emerged during the deliberation. Our countries have different contexts and experience, but our aspirations are similar. We all want education systems that are more inclusive, more innovative, and better prepared for the future. I am therefore pleased that we have adopted the BRICS Education Ministers' Declaration. It reflects our collective resolve to deepen the cooperation across the 5 priorities identified during India's chairship. But the real message, the real measure of today's meeting will be that we do what we do after we leave this room. We must continue working together to strengthen the early childhood education and foundational learning. We must prepare our young people with future-ready skills, deepen cooperation in research, innovation, and responsible use of emerging technologies. We should also make it easier for our students, researchers, and professionals to study, collaborate, and work across our countries through a greater cooperation on the recognition of qualification. At the same time, we must continue investing in academic leadership that can guide our institution through a rapidly changing world. The platforms we have built within the BRICS can play an important role in taking work forward. I hope our vice chancellors, university networks will build on the momentum generated through BRICS Network University. The BRICS TVET Cooperation Alliance can further strengthen our partnership in skills and vocational education. Our senior officials should maintain the strong line of communication established this year, while our respective ministries continue to explore the opportunities for the cooperation both bilaterally and through BRICS. There is enormous scope for us to learn from one another, whether in student and faculty mobility, joint research and innovation, skill development, academic leadership, emerging technologies, or the preservation of traditional indigenous knowledge. And even as we prepare our education system for the future, we must remain connected to the wisdom of our past. Our traditional knowledge system reminds us that the innovation and heritage need not stand apart. As nations with rich civilizational traditions, we have an opportunity to preserve this knowledge, study it with rigor, and bring the value to the future generation. I believe BRICS can make a distinctive and meaningful contribution to the global education and research by bringing together the modern knowledge, emerging technologies, and the wisdom of our civilizations. Excellencies, the classroom we strengthen today, the teachers we empower, the skills we develop, the research we enable, and the opportunities we create will shape our societies long after our own tenure have ended. India remains fully committed to working with BRICS partners to advance an education agenda that is inclusive, equitable, future-ready, and rooted in cooperation. India began this meeting by welcoming you in the spirit of Atithi Devo Bhava, means guests are God. As we conclude, I hope you will carry with you not only the outcomes of our deliberation, but also the warmth and friendship of the people of India, particularly Odisha and Bhubaneswar. On behalf of the government and the people of India, I once again thank every delegation for your friendship, trust, and valuable contribution to this meeting. Excellencies, at the beginning of our meeting, I have invoked the wisdom of our Upanishad. As we conclude, allow me to return once again to the timeless wisdom. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukbhat bhavet. Meaning, may all be happy, may all be free from the suffering, may all see what is good, may no one suffer. This meaning of this Upanishad shloka. To me, this captures the larger purpose of education and also the spirit in which BRICS must work together. That the progress must ultimately serve the people and leave no one behind. With this prayer for the well-being and the progress of all, I declare 13th BRICS Education Minister meeting successfully concluded. I wish you all the safe onward journey and look forward to our continued partnership. Thank you. Namaskar. Kindly join for the lunch, working lunch. Thank you.